Hi, Chris.
What's up, Claire?
So, Chris, today I want to ask you
Hmm.
what's something that you wish you got to talk about more often that you feel like you don't get to talk about that much? You pondering the question like I've never told you the question.
The thing is, you have told me this question, but I've chosen not to think about it. But there's so many things I could talk about.
Just so multifaceted.
Honestly, the thing I love to talk about is my love for people. So there you go.
Let's talk about that because so it's something that I like. It's not hard for me, but I actively have to choose it. So, can you talk to me about like where your love for people came from?
So I'm not scratching my head because I don't know what I'm talking about. I actually had an itch. My grandparents were just salt of the earth people. They lived in Miami. They both worked for Pan Am. My grandmother was passing away. She passed away at a very old age. It was obviously sad, but it was also like fun to be with people who had known her.
Yeah.
During that time was just people talking about, like, they knew that when my grandfather, he would travel the world throughout the week, and when he would get home on the weekends, they knew, go to their house on Fridays because they were having steak night. Dozens of people would show up every Friday night, and they were
That's so
just
precious.
known as the people who loved people. They were just like the most generous people.
Wow.
They weren't rich, but they would just give and give and give. So I think like I got my love for people from them, and then my parents are obviously like lovers of people. Yeah, you met him.
Yeah.
In my life, it wasn't just love for people, but it's like this addiction to seeing people heal.
Yeah.
Like that's what gets me excited. And so I became a counselor a few years ago because I would go to these conferences that my friends would lead, and like you'd see like this insane life change happen in people's lives, and I'd come home from these places and people would be like, there's something different about you. And I realized it's like anytime I would get around people that were their lives were being changed by God, it would like give me fuel. I just think like they're like when you get in an environment where the presence of God is there and people are being healed, not just physically but emotionally, mentally, something about that environment that I was meant for. Like I know that, and I love talking about that kind of stuff. I eat, drink, read, everything healing.
I want to go back to the like just loving people because I do feel like that's one of the first things I noticed about you. You're not just easy to connect with initially, but you can tell how much you value people as someone who like desires to connect with people, desires to be able to love people well, and sometimes feels like it's not what's coming out of me naturally, or I struggle to ask the right questions to connect or something. Like, what would you tell someone like me?
That's the best question anyone's ever asked me.
Thank you.
I love that because I feel the tension there. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know it's like
You've noticed it in me.
no. But I think you're way better at connecting with people than you think you are, and you're way better at loving people than you think you are.
Okay.
And I can see that in you, but I also know the feeling of feeling like, man, I want to I want to do more for people. Like I want people to feel more loved and more seen. If you're thinking that, you're already doing it. It's just that the Lord's calling you to a higher level. You're loving people already, and if you have that thought, I think this is what I've discovered in my own life. I would think I wasn't loving people well, or like people didn't feel God's love through me. And then people would tell me, I just feel really loved by you. I feel really seen by you.
Yeah.
Then I realized I need to believe that God's doing that in me, and just see like the part of me that wants more is God willing to give me more and give me more ways like to intentionally love people.
Yeah. It's good. I don't have any more questions.
Okay.
Do you have anything else you want to say or share?
I love UCF football. I love college football.
Like what? What do you want to end on? There are no rules.
I would just encourage people, I guess, to value people, especially in the church. I'm always trying to find more in that, like more strength from God. How do I show up? I'm not trying to please people. I think people pleasing is horrible. It's sin, honestly. But like finding a way to reflect God's kindness and intentionality.
It's good.
Yep.
Chris, we have a tradition here on my Not podcast where at the end of the episode we cheers our microphones. So could we cheers our microphones?
Wait, can we cheers our mugs too?
Yeah.